Good morning, Barstow, and happy Tuesday. I'm Nora Larson.
And I'm Jack Hansen. Welcome back to school after our 3-day weekend. Nora, did you get a chance to go to homecoming?
I did. I went with a group of friends, and I actually had a really nice time. The night was a lot of fun.
Very cool. Too bad I was in Canada. Anyway, we have quite a few announcements today, so let's get started with the intro.
To start off, Louder Than a Bomb Club will meet today after school at 3:20 in the auditorium. Robotics will also have a meeting at 3:40 today in room 104.
Tomorrow, the World Quest team will take their field trip to the UMKC Pearson Auditorium. Wish them luck on their worldly endeavors.
Looking to Friday, keep in mind that the upper school debate team will be competing in Iowa City through Sunday.
Also, middle school debate will compete at UMKC on Saturday for the City Champs title. Good luck to all. Now, let's check in with Sage for a sports update.
Last week, the boys and girls basketball teams were busy with games. The boys lost 2 hard-fought games against University Academy on Family Night and Van Horn. The girls beat University Academy 35-27, but lost to Van Horn. Both teams beat Heritage Christian on Friday for the homecoming games. The girls won 47-32 and the boys 93-45. Looking ahead at this week, both teams play Pembroke Hill on Thursday for senior night. Girls at 6 and boys at 7:30. Both teams will then play at Bishop Ward on Friday. That's all I have for this week. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, Sage. Hey, Jack, did you hear about lower school STEAM night last week?
I sure did, and actually I got to volunteer there too.
Very cool. Let's check out this recap of the event.
Hello everyone, tonight was the first Family STEAM night and it is fantastic. Families had so much fun in every room, from preschool to the commons to the gym. It has been fantastic. I'm so excited and hopefully we will have another one soon next year.
My favorite thing was making lava lamps in Miss Buckley's room and having your hair poof up in Miss Thompson's room.
Making a telescope.
Mine's lava lamp. Mine's probably lava lamps too.
So far, my favorite thing was probably the lava lamps because it was really cool to just see them have the chemical reaction that we've been learning in science class.
Let's switch gears to a topic everyone loves, books. Nora, do you have some favorite books?
I do, but honestly, too many to list. But actually, right now, we're reading All Quiet on the Western Front in English class, which I really loved. Well, let's see what Mrs. Ganter and Mrs. Thompson have in their bookshelves with this piece by Sage.
I'm Mrs. Thompson. I teach 5th grade reading and writing, and I'm here to talk about books, which I love.
Every book has a place in who I am. Every book I've read, some more than others, and some going way back to why I love literature in the first place.
So I want to start with children's books. This is one of my favorites, The Day the Crayons Quit. I love the point of view that it's told by all the different crayons and how they're feeling neglected and how the main character uses them too much, too little. It's just a fun book. The kids love it. One of my favorites. I read it to both my boys and they loved it.
This one's by Julie Edwards, who, if you look really closely, which you may not be able to see, is Julie Andrews, the actress from The Sound of Music and lots of other things. So she wrote 2 children's books that I'm aware of, and then she wrote a couple with her older daughter, children's books. The 2 that I read when I was a little girl and went to my school library and fell in love with were The Last of the Really Great Whangdoodles, and it's all about the power of the imagination and A Wonderful New World, which I loved because I wanted to escape to places like this.
Moving on up, my next favorite is Out of My Mind. I have my 5th graders read this every summer, and it's not just a good young adult, young children book, but it's a great book for everybody. Such a good message of acceptance and perseverance.
Here's another really impactful book in my life called The Power of One by Bryce Courtney. And I recommend this to everyone, especially if you haven't read it when you get out of high school, read it before you go to college. It's a great coming-of-age story.
Some of my favorite adult books, and this is so bad, I had to print off copies because they're so popular that I've let my friends borrow them, so I don't have copies. But Big Little Lies, Leanne Moriarty, one of my favorite authors. She's written so many other good books. The Husband's Secret. This was a spin-off show on HBO called Big Little Lies. If you haven't watched it, it's awesome, but this book is so good. She is the best at writing books that have plot twists, which I love. You never see it coming.
The other big collection I have is cookbooks, or something that has books that have to do with food in some way, shape, or form. Part of that's because I was in the magazine business for a while, and I worked for 2 food magazines, so I collected a lot of books that had to do with food. And as a researcher, I used a lot of those books regularly, but I also like having them on my shelf because I always know where things are and I can just remember and go and pull it out. Books about food that tell story. This one is called Garlic and Sapphires. It's by Ruth Reichel, and I used to work for her at Gourmet. And at the end, there's a great scalloped potatoes. By the way, I make this every year at Thanksgiving.
Catherine Center, How to Walk Away, another one of my favorites. I've read several books by her, but this one really hit me. It was just a great book. Loved it. I'm currently reading Such a Fun Age, which Reese Witherspoon and I are buddies, so she called me and recommended me, this book, just kidding. But this is her book. She has a book club, and this was one of her recommendations, Such a Fun Age. It is a great book. It touches on acceptance and race and how other people are perceived, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's kind of in a nutshell of the books that I'm reading, books that I love. I'm a huge believer in word of mouth. That's how you find out about good books, is just talk to people. So happy reading.
Lovely piece. Just a reminder that somehow there are less than 3 weeks left in 3rd quarter, so make an attempt to stay on top of your work.
Before we sign off, lunch today is French toast sticks with syrup, fresh scrambled eggs and bacon with classic Southern ambrosia for dessert. I'm Nora Larson.
And I'm Jack Hansen. Enjoy your week, Barstow.